Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
This is Memory Bound in middle of the United States, coming to you live.
And we are late.
And we are late.
And we apologize for being late. We had some microphone issues.
But that's okay. You had time to get your coffee refilled.
Yeah.
And
imagine that with
good
me.
morning. And you know what? We're calling this the snow day. It's a snow day.
We have snow on the ground.
Yeah. We didn't expect that snow.
I did it. Did you know it was coming, Maggie?
I had no idea. I woke up yesterday morning and the ground was white.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So it's a snow day, and so today is all about snowmen.
Oh,
and
here,
snow.
Maybe I should show you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And Kelly has very graciously extended her Frosty the Snowman book for half price today.
And the little golden book.
The little golden books, and they're over there,
Okay.
Katie.
Don't want to spin too fast because then we get...
And so we have the little one and the larger book, and they are half price today.
I am very soft because my microphone is not working. We only have one microphone working, which each set of microphones we have. So we thought you would want to listen to Maggie more than me.
And we'll kind of lean a little closer together.
And I heard if I talk slow, you can hear me better.
Maggie, it's charging right now. And Katie, it won't be long.
All right.
Kelly.
Okay, so today's two golden books are still 50% off. We're extending that just because we're having a snow day.
Yes.
And so today is all about snowman, and today's feature stamp is Mr. Frostie.
And my microphone is dead. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Should we put this kind of in the middle of us?
No, I think you might be able to hear me a little bit, but you're going to have to do all the talking, Maggie.
Okay. So today, this is our feature stamp set, and it's called Mr. Frostie, and love this stamp set.
It's a great stamp.
Yes. You can never have... You can never have too many snowman stamps, and this is our special one today. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all things snowman today, and we're going to start out with... I need a pointer, Katie.
You have a finger?
This is my pointer.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
right.
So we're going to start out over here. We do have a few more of the snowman kits left, and that is made out of a wood plank. And we have just a few more left, so if you want to get creative and have a little home decor at your place with snowmen, because you can keep those up after Christmas. We have a few of those kits left. And today's feature is the Mr. Frostie stamp, and so a lot of these samples are Mr. Frostie, and some are on coasters, some are on the little wooden frames that we have here at the store. And we have round coasters, square coasters. This is another kit. We brought him up because we do have this coaster kit available. And this Frostie's Snowflake Cafe, that is a kit that's also available.
Maggie,
and those are fun.
Your display is so darn cute.
Oh
my gosh.
I just love that snowman.
He is great, and I'm
He
really
is.
excited to see how you...
It was just kind of fun to create with him. So today we are going to show...
Now, where did you get the We Wish You a Merry Christmas paper?
Okay, so I am giving all of you hoarders out there permission
one sheet?
to
Let's use one sheet.
No, to use this book.
Okay.
I decided it was my challenge. I buy these books and I store them because I'm afraid to use them. I don't want to use them, and then the other night I thought, why am I saving these? So I broke it out, and my challenge was to use them. And so this is from the book.
Those berries.
Reminiscence 8, yes.
All right.
And these papers are from the book. This We Wish You a Merry Christmas is from the book. The Red Snowflakes is from the book. And over here, all of these are from the book. And I could go on and on and on. You guys, if you do not have this book. If you have this book, you should be using it.
It's a beautiful book.
If you don't, oh my gosh, if you don't have the book, you need to get one. This, Katie, is, if you go back a few months, I did a video on this, etc. tag.
Oh, okay.
And
the
so,
snowflakes.
the snowflakes. And so I had it, and I thought, we're going to add Mr. Frostie on there.
Maggie, these are amazing.
They were fun. But really, seriously, look at these.
You used them in the book. Let's take a look at
I'm just going to flip through this book. Okay. Now, in this Reminiscence 8, part of the pages are the real heavy cardstock, and then part of the pages are just paper. But you get a repeat. So what you see in the paper, you're going to see back here on the heavy duty. But look at these.
Gorgeous.
They are too beautiful
to
not use. Yeah. So open it up, give yourself permission. And I did cut these out, and I used them on, let's see, which one did I use it on?
Did you use,
Right here. I used it on that one.
do you want to bring that over?
Yes.
And that way I don't
Yep.
go back and forth.
This one came from this page. Where is
I
it?
love those.
Either this page or, look at this. Get out your book and use it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
That's good. That's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you know, what are you saving it for? It's kind of like get out your good china
Yeah.
and use it.
Yeah, you bought it because you want it, and then you should use it. And
Yeah.
you have 2 sheets, so you can use one sheet.
Yes,
instead
look
of
at
the other.
this.
But it
It's
is really
just
pretty.
gorgeous. And so I could have used and used and used. I
Did
just,
you use the lighter weight paper or the heavy weight paper?
I used the lighter weight, but I also used, when it came to that We Wish You a Merry Christmas, I had used the other side, so I used the heavier.
I will say this is one of the prettier books that they have. They have
It's
a
just
book,
beautiful.
but this is the holiday is really pretty.
Thank you,
You're
ma'am.
welcome.
But look, all of these would make great backgrounds.
Isn't it pretty? So
Yes.
it's just
Oh, and this is just gorgeous. Alicia, who comes and does videos,
yeah.
she's just like me. She would open this book and she'd say, "Oh, look at this.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what you do.
look at this. This is just amazing."
That's
So,
the Maggie thing. You write
this
the paper.
one is one of my favorite.
Oh,
I love
that's
this
gorgeous.
background.
Can you spin it so we can see it?
Yes.
That's all right. Thank you.
Yes,
But
I
look
wondered
at
which.
that. Isn't that beautiful? It's a tree.
Yes. So,
It
look
is
at this.
absolutely
Look at the
beautiful.
snowflakes in the background.
Oh,
We
there's the
wish you a Merry Christmas.
that
Yeah.
you used.
And so I must have used the
background,
snowflakes,
too.
I believe.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh!
So
So if
pretty.
you have this book, take it out and enjoy it.
That's good advice.
If you don't have this book, we have a few more left.
Yeah, there we go.
So that is Reminiscence, the book 8.
I wonder, and I could be completely wrong, I don't know if we've ever really shown projects that actually used one of the books.
I know, and you know, I just thought
They're
that
so
was my
pretty.
challenge. I was just going to use
I
them.
think you met your challenge.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes that's
did
what
an
I need to
excellent
do is if I'm going to create, sometimes I need to lay out everything. I laid this out, my stamp set. I laid out the book. I got a whole bunch of stamps, and I thought, okay, this is my challenge.
working around that arm, but yes. And all your fun things, your...
And I love coasters. You know what? I just think these would just be fun for a hostess gift. They'd be fun sitting at place settings at Christmas
Oh,
for everybody to take home.
So,
So,
and Vicky says that she used them on the wood trees, the books.
oh,
That would be beautiful.
yes.
Those trees.
So,
Oh my
the
gosh.
moral of the story is to use that book.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, that's so
Diane
cool.
saw these yesterday, and she goes, I might have to buy 2 books.
I know, and that's Diane.
Yeah.
The
And
name of the stamp set is Mr. Frostie.
Mr. Frostie, and it's IE, except, and it's not Frosty with a Y, it's IE.
IE.
But look at this. Okay, so that was another of my challenge. I used this, the tree, and I used one of the sayings, and my other goal was to use the snowflake, and I never
my
got to that.
gosh.
So,
But you completely are going to show us all of it.
yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So
Many
basically,
times I use just like one snowman off of it and then
well, and you know what? I've seen people take these also and put a smile on it too. And
just
I
a
did
little-
not,
that would be fun.
but you certainly could.
Oh, you so could, couldn't you?
So today's video is all about watercoloring.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And it's funny because there again, I laid out and I stamped and I stamped. And I'm going to tell you something. I use watercolor paper.
Okay.
This is my favorite paper to use for watercolors. It's the Distress Watercolor Cardstock by Tim. This is 8.5 by 11. You get 10 sheets for $7.99. But you can also get all pre-cut. This is the size of an A2 card. And I still usually cut these down, but this is a nice pack to have. So I laid this out, and I thought I'm just going to stamp away and then come up with ways to use them.
Are you going to discuss like what ink you used when you stamp, since you're using watercolor?
Yes. So the thing is with watercolor paper, you if you're going to watercolor, you're going to want to use the archival, which is the permanent black ink.
I love to
yes.
stamp with that.
But the one thing about watercolor paper, it has a very textured side, if you can kind of see that.
Try.
And then it has a
I
smoother
like the lips at
side.
it. Okay.
If you're going to stamp, you want the smoother side.
Makes sense.
I made the mistake the other night and tried to stamp on the textured side, and I was using my Misty, and you definitely need to use your Misty because it takes more than one take to get it to stamp.
Again, you can't hear me very well because I don't have a microphone, and we're waiting for the other microphones to charge, so that's why you can't hear me.
There we go. Who needs to hear Katie, right?
Exactly. We're here for Maggie.
So if you're going to do some watercoloring, you definitely need the Ranger Archival ink, which is permanent. You will need that. You'll need watercolor paper because we are going to be watercoloring, and that's the reason it's watercolor paper, because it paints much easier.
Do you, Maggie, use the paper or the pre-cut paper or the large size? Which one do you prefer,
Depending.
or just...
I actually have both. I have this because if I want to cut a bigger, for example, I want to do the Santa. I might as well show that Santa.
Yeah.
Yes, I might as well show him.
Because Maggie's
Okay.
here today with snowmen, and tomorrow
With
she's
Santa.
gonna watercolor Santa.
Okay,
And he's
so
so good.
this is called Santa Visit.
Here, can I hold it for a second?
Yes.
So I get the glare. Okay, good. You can still.
And anyway,
is.
that
He
is
is.
the Santa Visit.
Holly Jolly.
And he's a little wider, and so what I want to do is, you know, our frames that we've been using a lot of, I want to put him on one of these frames, and then I want it to look like postcards. So I'm going to put a postcard at the top.
So excited.
So we're going to show painting him tomorrow. So today it's Snowmen, tomorrow is Santa Claus.
Hey,
So we'll do that tomorrow.
can you hit the bell just real quick for me? Wherever we ended up
Yes.
doing that. Thank you. I wonder if Chris would come.
So the answer to that question is this size is nice because if I want to cut a bigger square, but if all you're going to do is little smaller things, it's nice to have those. So actually you need one of each.
Thank you.
They're nice to have. They're just nice. What do they call those, substrates to use?
Oh, wow.
That's a big word.
I wasn't paying attention. I
Yes.
apologize. And you looked at me and I was like,
So-
oh, I'm so straightforward. Sorry,
Today we're going to use, I've already pre-stamped it, and
Okay.
again, I did use the Misty because in order to get this, it probably took, my upside down or,
No, well, yeah, there you go.
in order to get this nice of a stamp, I probably had to do it 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
Because it's still textured, not as much as this side, but it's still textured.
The stamp is not on sale. It is just one that we have had that we like.
This
and
is
it's
a new
Tim
one.
Holtz new one.
Yes, and it's $29.99,
Yeah.
but
And Maggie
he's so
has
cool.
just done some amazing things, and I asked her if she'd be willing to show how she watercolored these due to popular demand.
And Katie, that card over there, that is Teresa's card. So she used that to make the card.
So cute.
Yeah. He's really nice.
He's a good one. I need to pull him out and use him.
What I like about watercoloring with this is a lot of your shadowing is already done. So when you just are painting, all those lines show through the watercolor.
That is helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, today what we're going to be using is Distress Watercolor.
Okay.
And
do we need to flip? Do you want to use the arm yet? Are you ready,
maybe
or
not quite yet.
Not yet? Okay, you let me know.
Okay, so I'm going to show you if you were going to paint these snowmen and you could only have 3 colors, these would be the 3 I would start with, and then whatever color you want for the scarf.
All right, so she's going to use carved pumpkin, pumice stone, and weather wood. Those are 3 really good colors.
Yeah, and you know, if the other night when I was doing all of these, and I did a lot of them at one time, I learned something, and so that's what you do, is you learn when you're playing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so I, excuse me,
Oh, you're fine.
I learned that rather than all blue, this weathered wood, I like to mix a little pumice stone, and so I'm going to show you what I learned when I did that.
All right.
So,
I like that, Maggie.
Katie, if
Yes.
you want to put it on the arm.
All right. Well, we are going to try to put it on the arm. You know my success rate is.
Oh, well, thank you, because I'm always upside down.
Okay, so I turn it
I never know.
this way, I believe. And if Kelly is watching or listening, that'd be awesome if you could come here. I now don't know if I'm facing. Okay. He keeps telling me to rotate my phone. There we go. Down. So I'm going to spin it this way. Oh my gosh, Maggie, I don't know if I'm facing.
I get it wrong. You need to slide it down just a little. There you go.
I just don't want to hit the phone
Yeah.
with the doodad. Am I upside down? If somebody could let me know. I'm not going to move it. I think I am upside down, but I'm not 100% sure. So I guess I will check. Please give us a moment here. You can see I am trying to figure out where we're at, and I heard Kelly's door open and close.
Here she comes.
I can't tell if I'm upside down or not. What was the book that you were using again?
The book.
Reminisce.
Oh, Reminiscence,
Yep.
Book 8. It's this one right here. It's
And-
it's crisp. I mean, there's snowflakes, but a lot of these could be used for everything. But I'm just going to flip
Okay.
through
Everybody
these.
says I'm upside down.
You should be right.
All right, so I'm not going to. It keeps.
You're not upside
Okay.
down. You're perfectly fine.
Okay. I thought.
Okay.
This,
we're gonna-
always, this
Oh.
always goes to the opposite of what it was. That's how
Oh, okay. I'll
I'm
get
going
that
to
out of
check
your
on the
way.
microphones.
Okay, that would be great. All right.
I'm just
thank you for
flipping
your
through
push.
this
I know
book
it's-
while we're
it's
doing
the
that.
Perfect interlude.
Oh my
It
gosh,
is.
you guys. I know you don't want to tear out any pages, but it's so worth it. It's just so beautiful.
It is a good one, and we're getting okay. It says we're good. We are right side up.
You get 32 double-sided sheets, and some of them are
I have to apologize. Maggie and I are dealing with some colds. All right, so right now, Maggie, if you would paint like up here,
okay.
and then the inks are just. I'm going to come down. Do you want me to show? If you need place to like show things, you can show them off this way.
Okay.
You have to go this
Perfect.
way. Right
Perfect.
there.
Okay. So as
I'll try to
I
watch you,
was
keep you in.
as I was painting the other day, I tended to start with weathered wood. And after doing 2 or 3 of them, I realized that maybe it was just a little bit too much blue. So I went to pumice stone first, followed by weathered wood. So I'm just going to show you what I did. Although I'm going to start with weathered wood. Okay, so this is what I do is I use my mat. And Katie, can you see this right here?
Well,
If I
yeah,
do that?
look, hold on one second, because you're closer on the arm phone than you are on my phone. But I think we'll be okay once we get this set up. I just don't want you to miss anything. Oh, and I bumped the. Yep, you're perfect.
Okay, so I can show
perfect.
this right here?
Yes, perfect. Okay, we're good to go.
So what I'm going to start out with the weathered wood. It's the perfect ink for snow. And so what I do is I'm going to start by just turning it upside down and twisting onto my mat like that. And then this seems to work really well for me, is just the mister. And I don't just mist the whole thing, I mist one side of it.
Oh.
Like that.
And why is that?
Because then I can pull on this if I need it darker.
Okay.
This is going to be very diluted. Going to start out really diluted. And then if I need it to be a little darker, I can pull from that. Okay, so another thing, Katie,
Yeah.
I have some paintbrushes laying here. Here. The paintbrush I like to use is this one. This one right here. It's a rounded, like this.
Do you need some paper towels?
I've got some right here.
Okay.
And so this is the one I like to use for the watercolor. All right, so I'm going to just start out with the really diluted, and we're going to do the background like the sky. And so see how diluted that is?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to go like this.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't care if I go over the arms, that's fine. So we're just going to do that. And see how I'm just kind of getting that on
Once
there?
you've done that, can you kind of hold it up to the camera?
I will as soon as I dry it a little bit.
That's right.
Because it needs to be dried. In between my layers, I like to dry it, Katie.
Okay.
And look, Katie, I'm using my brand
Maggie, I'm
new
so proud of you.
heat tool. I'm so
Yes.
excited. I had the same one for years and years and years, and this is my first time. This is the maiden voyage of
Oh,
this. So,
I hope it works.
okay, so we're just going to dry this in between layers. It's really important. But see how it pools?
Yeah.
I'm good with that. That's what
Okay.
I want it to do. It gives you just some texture.
Nothing like that new burnt smell in the morning.
I know.
New burnt heat gun.
And if you see a spot that you think is being a little bit too dominant there, you can just kind of do that. This is just to give you a little background. And I'm like Kelly. Kelly taught me to leave some white spaces, so
Oh, okay.
I don't care that it's not completely covered.
This is fascinating to me. I am not one to watercolor, but you make me look like I could probably
Well,
do it.
I'll tell you what. I don't feel like I'm the greatest at it. I love to watch
Yeah.
people watercolor. There are some amazing watercolor artists out there. I'm not one of them.
You do a very nice job, Maggie. Don't sell yourself short. Have you ever taken, like, when there's some puddles like that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you might do that. Have you ever taken a paper towel and dabbed them off?
Sometimes,
What's the
but
best
I
advice?
actually like them pooled like that
Okay.
because I like that look in the background. And
Okay.
if it becomes too much and you're going, oh, I don't like that, we'll ink over it and kind of
Okay.
be okay with it. And you know what? I might decide that I do not want it this big, and I might be cutting some of that off anyway.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, so it's important that you ink or dry everything.
Okay.
Because if you don't, then things kind of move on you.
Oh, do they get like
Well, some
smudge or like turn brown? Like
they,
the
well,
bottom
no,
of
they
it?
bleed in together, and you don't want that. So, so every layer that you do, you're going to want to dry it. And don't worry about whether this is warped. You can do the other side. Sometimes that straightens it out.
So if you're just joining us, Maggie, oh, you might not be able to hear me. Maggie is using Tim Holtz's new Mr. Frostie, and she just did some some painting. First, you're going to stamp on it with the archival ink.
Yes,
And
on the
use the
smooth
misty.
side.
On the
Make
smooth
sure you use the
side, yeah.
smooth side, and you're going to need a misty because it does take more than one. And probably my archival ink at home could possibly be a little dry too. But
okay.
I think I need a new archival ink.
I just
But-
got a new one. Mine was really dry. I think there's re-inkers, but sometimes I just prefer just getting
Yes.
starting fresh. All
Okay,
right, thanks, Maggie.
so we have that. And again, if this kind of bothers me, I can
Oh.
cut a little bit of it off. Are you okay? Okay, so I'm going to move on to, this is what I learned after doing, when I did my first ones, I started out with weathered wood on the snowman because I love that blue gray look for the snowman, but I found out that if I start with pumice stone, it's a little less blue. So I'm going to move over here.
Move that up a smidge.
And can they see this?
They would be able to see. Yeah, I think so.
I'm just going to
You don't see it yet.
apply a little bit of pumice stone onto my, let's see if they can, yeah, I think they can see it.
Yeah.
We're a little delayed, so it's,
Yeah, I should be looking up here, but I will move it over a little, Maggie, and then they can definitely see the two
Okay.
over there. How about that?
so now I've
'Cause
got
we don't
my,
really need to keep those.
no, we
Yeah.
don't.
Okay.
In fact, we can put those over there. So we're going to take the pumice stone, and pumice stone is a lot like weathered wood. You get a little gray look. As you can see, the weathered wood is slightly more blue. So pumice stone we're going to start, and I'm going to, again, dilute one side of it. And the best thing that I can tell you is to start light and then go a little more concentrated. So as you can see, we've got, can they see that?
Yeah, and I will apologize. I was not getting any comments. I'm going back. No, I don't know. And looking at comments real quick, Maggie.
Okay.
Are you using Distress Oxide or Distress Regular?
I am using Distress Regular.
not oxide.
I tend to like the regular Distress for watercoloring. You get a total different look with oxide, and I thought about this last night that maybe I should have done a snowman in oxide, but I
Would it be
prefer
brighter? Have you
it'd be brighter and a little more opaque.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, because I'm using it like a watercolor, I'm adding water to the oxide, and then it oxidizes and gets very chalky looking.
Oh, okay,
So I
yeah.
prefer to use the regular when I'm doing the watercolor. Okay, so now I've got the pumice stone, and I'm going to just get that laid on that snowman. I'm not really painting it on, I'm just getting it laid, and as you can see, I'm letting it pool.
And when she says pool, it's like she has little puddles. Of
Yeah,
the
and that's what
watercoloring.
gives it. That's what gives it the look of snow.
I call
so-
it puddling. She calls it
Pooling, puddling. Yes, that can be either. But see how I'm putting that on there, but I'm not really painting it. You want watercolor to be really free, and that's something that I really admire about watercolor artists, is they know how to do that. But just, can you see I'm not really painting it, I'm
Okay,
just
you're
getting
laying
it on there.
more.
Yes.
And you can't, and can you lift it up and
Yeah.
see? It really is quite heavy, I would say, or pooling.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
heavier, but I like that
Yeah.
because then it gives you that texture of snow.
Up a little this
A
way.
little
Yeah.
this
There.
way?
Towards, like, push it towards me. There you go. And then
Okay.
come back down so we see his head. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So again, we're going to take my handy dandy heat tool.
Okay. We're not the only ones.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I've used pumice stone.
You need the mic. There you go. We are so professional. Let us know. Can you hear both of us now? We have some
Hello,
new
hello.
microphones. Yeah. Oh, Maggie. Yeah.
Okay, again, use your heat tool to dry between your layers.
So if you had it and the brown hit the blue, what would happen?
Well, because it's water reactive, then all of a sudden it's going to kind of bleed, and sometimes that's okay.
Okay.
But it doesn't work for, like, if I'm going to add like a red scarf, then it goes into the face, and you don't want that to happen. So I have learned that it works better if you dry it between layers.
All right. Sounds
Okay.
like people can hear us. We're loud and clear and ready to go. So
All right.
thank you,
so
Kelly, and
now
our chargers.
I'm going to, can they see this?
Yes.
I'm going to pick up just a little bit of that pumice stone and I'm going to mix it.
Oh.
Because I don't want a direct line between the blue and the pumice stone, so I'm just going to mix it. And now I'm going to, again, you are just laying it on. And you're putting in some shadows. And you can add some darker. And it just depends. So I still have a little bit of this that's not diluted. So if I need it to be darker, I can. But see how by doing this, you're getting that piled up snow.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
absolutely.
You can just kind of go off the page a little bit. Let's see. Let's get a little bit more concentrated here. I want just a little bit more blue. This is something you're just going to have to play with.
Now, are you using your diluted blue or more of your concentrated
a
blue?
little bit more of the
Okay.
concentrated. I'm kind of
Okay.
going in there, and I'm just looking at him. He's looking towards the light source.
Oh.
And so over here is going to be my darker.
Okay.
And again, where he meets the ground, he's going to be a little darker, so we're going to use a little concentrated here. And I think we need a little more blue here, so just pick up a little more blue. Add some.
My gosh. I can't. I'm speechless. When you dry it, his face is amazing.
And
right
again,
now, 'cause
there's...
it looks like like the sun is shining on his face.
And can you see, by using a little bit more of my concentrated, I'm kind of going in there where the shadows would be with the scarf.
Yeah, I love that.
And if you don't like this direct line, just kind of pull it out there and kind of try to make your a little more rounded.
I can't, but you'll definitely we'll have to get a close up of the face because it's phenomenal. Just the way that it
let's
landed.
add just a little bit more blue in here. See, there's no two will ever be the same.
Okay.
And let's just dry that.
And Maggie, do you know off the top of the top of your head how much the stamp is?
Yes, it is $29.99.
$29.99. It is very relaxing watching Maggie paint. And drink your coffee, yes.
There we go.
It is. You're like the Mrs. Bob Ross.
Yeah, I need to add a happy little tree in there, don't I?
You do.
Well, we will be.
I just love it. I'm always excited when I get to videotape Maggie because I just love watching her.
Okay, so now, Katie, you get to choose.
Well, first, I want you to show his face because I am enthralled with the way his face and his belly have turned out. Let's see.
And just...
Can you see that face? It's absolutely amazing, I think. And then his belly.
And no two are ever going to be the
No,
same.
and they shouldn't be. And look at the snow.
Just always try to decide which side will be facing the light and add a little shadow.
Pretty, Maggie. It's so amazing.
So I'm going to take some carved pumpkin, but this is something I learned with carved pumpkin. It's a pretty bright
it's
orange.
intense, isn't it?
But I like the orange, but what I'm going to do...
Oh, and I just realized you're using your mat on your glass.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
So that could do 1,000 noses probably. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of, let's see, a little bit of pumice stone.
Okay.
Okay, you could use any brown, but we're going to add just a little pumice stone. And now, for little smaller parts, you do not need to dilute it quite as much. So get your...
I was going to say that you would dilute it a lot.
No,
Okay.
your paintbrush is kind of wet, so
Okay.
I'm just going to mix a little orange with a little pumice stone.
And you're doing that because
I don't like that.
orange is so
the
vibrant.
orange is too bright. And so we're just going to mix it with a little pumice stone until it gets to be almost rusty. You could probably have used rusty hinge, but oh my gosh, This Sherpa tracks everything. I've
Maggie's got
learned.
a price tag on her coat,
Okay.
so we can't get it off.
So, there. So you could have used Rusty Hinge, but I just mixed it with a little pumice stone to take the tone of the orange off.
Oh my goodness, look at
'Cause
that.
I
That
just
looks
didn't
amazing.
Like it. Didn't like it quite. And then maybe go in with just a little more.
Oh.
There we go. And it's just
Oh
not
my
quite
gosh.
as not
it's
quite as vibrant.
beautiful.
Okay, so now I need to do something on the little sticks. There's not a
Okay.
lot showing, but I think I brought like some gathered twigs.
Now, Maggie, did you use the same?
Get that, Katie? Gathered twigs?
Oh, yes.
Twigs.
Oh, my gosh. I'm surprised you're not pulling out some real twigs out of your pocket to put on there.
Oh, I did, Katie.
Oh,
I
you did.
On
Oh,
this
you
one.
did.
Because I fussy cut it, I cut off his arms, and I thought he needed arms.
Oh, Maggie, a project would not be complete without
and
a
I
Maggie
thought it
stick.
looked so much better with
Oh, it's so cute with
the
little
real
arms.
sticks.
I love that.
Okay, so now I've got pumice stone, and if you want to, you can use a smaller brush, just a tinier brush that's pretty pointed, and I'm not going to dilute that. My brush is wet, and I'm just going to pick it up like paint.
Okay, so that's pumice stone. Is that correct?
No,
Okay,
this
yeah.
is gathered twigs.
Oh, just another. Okay.
It's another
Thank you.
brown, but it's darker. And see, gathered twigs works perfect
Mm-hmm.
on gathered twigs.
On the twigs.
Yes.
Gathered twigs works
So
perfect on
we're
the
going
twigs.
to go in and just, so I did not dilute this. I
Okay.
just used my brush, which was tiny bit wet.
Did you use on the
There.
other snowman that I'm looking around at, did you use the same pumice stone and weatherwood on all of these?
That's funny that you asked.
Okay.
Because most of them I started out using weathered wood, and that's when I decided that.
Oh, so you started with the blue.
Yeah, I believe.
And then switched.
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe this one I started out maybe with the pumice stone.
Okay.
Weathered wood is beautiful, but sometimes I felt like it was getting a little bit too blue, so I
Okay.
decided to
So
start
you do
out
the
with
pumice stone.
pumice stone, followed by weathered. See, now that's all pumice stone.
This is
Oh,
all.
that's all weathered wood.
Okay, so this
Sorry.
one with the twig hands is all
Yeah.
pumice. So I'm going to try to show the difference between the two.
Yeah.
You can see this one is a lot more blue, and this one is not as much blue.
And you
it's
can
a little bit more calm, but I like them both, Maggie.
well, and you can do everything in weathered wood and then ink it, like especially if it was fussy cut like
okay.
this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now
yeah.
I didn't do that, but I should
Turn
have.
it around.
I should have inked this with a little bit of pumice stone
It's kind of, there you go.
right along here.
Oh, I see. Just like with your blender tool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was just fussy cut. Okay. So now, Katie, you get to
Excuse me.
decide.
Oh, yay.
What color would you like the scarf?
Oh, I see you have quite a few reds already.
Yeah. I was thinking about maybe rustic wilderness
Oh,
or
a green
peeled
one? Yeah,
paint.
let's do a green one.
Which would you like?
I like rustic wilderness. I like a
Okay.
really.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Okay. So
And Chris says her hands aren't steady enough to do this, but I think that's part of the reason that watercoloring is, good is because you're not trying to be precise.
And
I
you know
would
what,
say.
Katie? My hands sometimes shake
the
a little
shakes.
bit. So this is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Is that you just put your hand down on the surface and just work with it with your hand actually.
I think that's really good. So I'm going to move you back over the.
Yep.
Actually,
So
I'm going to.
so
the camera a
actually,
little bit.
rather
I
than
think that's really
holding
good
your
advice.
paintbrush up in the air,
Yeah.
just rest it on the surface.
Yeah. Okay, and that does help with the shakes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And so, and I do have a little bit of a shake. So, okay. So this is rustic wilderness.
Okay.
And I am not diluting it because it's a smaller space. And so I've just got my wet paintbrush. And so I'm going to go in. Boy, this is a pretty green, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's like my favorite.
Okay. And we're going to go in.
You're
like
going in
this.
dark. Oh, I love that.
Oh, wow. That is
that
a
pretty?
pretty green.
And do notice, you can't tell from this angle, but Maggie does have her hand on the table to help steady it more, I would say.
Yeah. Because I do have a little bit of the hazards of getting old, Katie.
Or drinking too much coffee.
That could be too.
Yeah.
And then I go up here and do that little band. You don't see a lot of it because it's in black, but just kind of go over that. It gives him a little matched
I love
look.
it.
Isn't that? I love that green.
I love the green. The green is beautiful.
So I'm going to dry it.
Okay.
And then if you want a little shadowing, we can go in and put another layer.
right.
But it's pretty. See how I left a little bit of white kind of in there? I didn't cover the whole thing.
Oh, and the scarf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly
I do
taught
see
me
that.
that.
Maybe just once she has it dried, we'll give you an up-close look at it.
Okay, so we're just going to go in, and there might be some shadows right in here. And we can go over it just to give it a little, and there again, you kind of pounce rather than painting.
Do you see that when you dry stuff, does it get darker or does it stay mostly the color that it is?
I would say sometimes it gets lighter.
Lighter. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Lighter, excuse me, yes.
That's why I go in the second time.
And then
Just
add some.
you just got a little shadowing there. Okay, so we're going to dry that.
Okay. Is there a way to practice this before you put it on your watercolor paper if you wanted to practice it?
Okay, and I'd say your best bet at practicing is to get that stamp
Okay.
and get a package of these
Okay.
and stamp about 10 snowmen
Okay.
and just have fun.
And just go for it. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. And
Because-
don't spills if you have to practice and make it perfect.
Yeah, because it's never going to be, oh, how did I get that green on there? Oh, I'm going to tell you something.
Oh.
I did learn.
You can put those to the side now.
I did learn that if that happens,
Oh, here, let's show them you got a little bit of an
yeah.
ups.
And I'm
So
not
here's
going to
the
worry
green up
about that
close.
because you probably wouldn't even have noticed it
I
had
wouldn't
I
notice
not.
either.
But I have learned. I wonder if we have an open, one of those little sanding erasers.
Oh, yeah.
I have learned that
The
if I
mono
need,
eraser?
yes, we'll see if someone.
Yeah.
Do you want to check and see if we have one of those erasers open that is kind of
Those-
like a sanding on one end and smooth on the other? It would be in that drawer. I don't know how that happened, but
That's all right.
I did notice.
Now, my first thought was, could you make it wet again and blend it?
No,
Okay.
I learned the hard
All
way.
right.
Notice here, I did the same thing. I got a little bit in a hurry, and I did the scarf, and then it got up in there. Now, we're going to... I didn't have an eraser like that at
Yeah.
my house, but I used a regular eraser, and erased and erased and erased until I got one.
We just need one of those small...
I'm answering the bell.
We just need one of those smaller erasers, those mono erasers. Thank you, Kelly.
Anyway, if that bothers you, I wouldn't worry about it, but we're going to show how you can erase that off. Now, if this were mine, I would now cut off a little bit of this to the size that I need it. Oh,
Oh, thank
perfect.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's use the rough side. That's
Do you
this.
want to talk about it, that thing
This
a
is
little
a
bit?
mono sand and rubber eraser. And it's smooth eraser on one side and a sand eraser on the other. We're going to use the sanding one, and I'm just going to very carefully go in and see if I can get rid of that. Oh, that worked really well.
That kind of gives me the shivers.
This reminds me of taking typing in 10th grade. Oh! I always had to erase with that little pencil. Remember
my
that
gosh.
pencil? There. So I'm not worried about the green
not
there.
worried,
But see
okay.
this right here?
I'm going to show how you got that erased on there, on his... So I think I'm showing it. That it was right here. I'm trying to find my finger. And now it's gone. On the white. She's going to leave it on the snowman because it doesn't bother her. And it doesn't bother me.
And this, now that I think about it, I know how I did this. I was splattering it with white paint, and I could not find my my splatter brush. So I was using a paintbrush, and it splattered a big glob right here, and that's how I
That's
got
how that
my
happened?
yes. But I'm just going to take a little bit of it off.
And here's a splatter brush that
There.
she refers to.
Yes, that's
Tim
another
Holtz.
thing. That's a must. You
Yes.
do.
$8.99.
If you're gonna, and now I splattered all these with white paint. And so if this were mine right now, I would trim it down to the size I needed because I wanted it smaller anyway. And then I would ink around it with pumice stone and then splatter it.
Wow.
So, you know, if this kind
Yeah.
of bothers you, then once it's cut off, you won't notice it. And so there's your
Oh my
snowman.
gosh. I'm going to show this one so you can just kind of see where she has inked on the edges. This
Yeah,
is so cute.
and that brings in a little bit. It
Did
takes
you just
away.
use a corner rounder on those?
Yes.
On that? Okay.
Oh,
I
and
didn't
I-
know if
yes.
you corner rounded or if you.
I love this thing.
Oh my gosh, I do too.
Yes, I decided that if I ever use coasters, they
Mm-hmm.
have rounded corners, so I think these should have
Yes.
rounded corners.
Yes. Yes.
And so this is the corner rounded that I use.
It's
love
amazing.
this.
I
thing.
find this as just a must-have anymore.
Yes,
like
yes.
a staple. Yeah.
So yeah, and so this is just ready to go now,
my
and you can just
gosh.
splatter it with white paint. And
Now, with splattering with this, you just dip it. Do you just put white paint on your?
yeah, and I've demonstrated
Mm-hmm.
that before. I just put a little white paint here.
Uh huh.
If depending on your paint, if your paint is
Like a white acrylic paint.
yeah, white
Okay.
acrylic paint. If your paint's a little thicker, then mist it once. And
Oh, okay, with
so
water?
then you take your paintbrush or your splatter brush and go like that. And then I've shown it, so that's why I'm not showing
Yeah.
you again today. And then just splatter it because
Okay.
it does bring these. And here again, this was without my splatter brush. I really needed my splatter brush, but it did enough. Now this one right here, I was going to tell you about this red. This is a mix of crackling campfire and lumberjack plaid because I didn't want it to be quite lumberjack plaid. Can be a little bit pinkish red,
Okay.
and so I mixed the crackling campfire with
The little lumberjack.
lumberjack plaid. Oh, I don't know. I don't see that. But here's another color. I think I'm going to do Santa tomorrow in aged mahogany.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm just not.
shoot, I'm not here. I don't get to
I'm not
videotape
a
you.
bright red
Yeah.
and green person. I like the more the muted tones.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to do a Santa in this.
Oh, I love
but
it.
here, okay. So I was going to ask the audience. Sorry,
That's okay.
I was going to ask the audience. Would
Yeah.
you like to see how to dye this?
Well, yeah. I think I'm the audience right now.
So this
Yes.
is this stamp right here, and right here, and I fussy cut him, and then
Oh my gosh,
I
that's
had
amazing,
seen this.
Maggie.
I think Zoe Hillman
Okay.
did this. Just love it. Let's do one with
Let's.
Rustic Wilderness.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So,
the white paint she uses is just white acrylic paint.
white acrylic paint, and I thought I had pulled one.
And
to
if
show.
it's too thick, then she does
one mist.
one mist with her distressed water.
It seems to splatter better.
Okay.
But you know what? Here's what I tell people. Get a paper sack and practice your splattering.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you
Practice-
splatter in the house? Or in the
Yes,
splatter
I
box?
have my splat box.
Your splat box, okay.
Before I got my own splat box, I would take it outside.
Would you?
I have a rock out front, and I would lean it against
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
And so, yeah, the thing about splattering is it just kind of brings it all together.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Okay, so what was I going to show? Oh,
You're going to show how to make that
yes.
ribbon.
Okay, this is Tim Holtz mummy cloth, but mummy cloth is not just for Halloween. It's not just for Halloween. It's for winter too. So I love this winter. So real quick, I'm going to show
Now it's
you.
frosty cloth.
It's frosty cloth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you. Yes, that's good. I thought I had pulled that. All right, so I'm going to pull off what I need. I love this stuff. It's just kind of a cream-colored cheesecloth is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I inked this piece of, darn Katie.
It's okay.
Okay, so we're going to start out with splatting, pressing this on and twisting. This is really juicy.
Wow. Yeah,
This is one of my newer inks. So,
Rustic Wilderness.
yes. Boy, that's pretty. Okay, so it's a two-step thing. So
All right.
I'm going to mist it to dilute it. So you want to start out with it diluted and be prepared to get your hands completely inked.
Or you can put some quick rubber gloves on.
Yes. And I'm just going to pretend like it's a bar rag and mop it up.
Oh my gosh.
That's how I tell people, just pretend like you're wiping up the bar.
Obviously, it's not the quicker picker upper.
Yeah. Well,
just getting bigger.
I believe that there's a what do they call that? A finish on this that
Oh,
it
that
takes a
prevents
while
it.
for it to start soaking in.
Okay, that would make
So
sense.
you just keep going, pull it apart.
Do you wear an apron when you do this?
No,
No? Okay.
no.
Have you ever gotten stuff on your shirt?
Yeah. And the same way with painting, I should. Last night I did hang a dish towel in front of my clothes. So,
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, when I
Just
was
in case.
splattering. Okay, so sometimes I like to leave it a little variegated
Yeah.
and not perfect. Now this is what I do. So then I wipe this off and let's dry it. And you know, this is really funny, but last night I got a little bit of smoke going when I was drying this, and I don't know why, but I had to stop. So anyway, we're going to dry this.
The cloth was smoking?
Something was
Something
smoking.
was smoking.
Either
Maybe
my
it was your...
either the cloth
Maybe it
or
was
what.
a gun. Your,
But I had to
heat tool.
stop. But anyway, okay, so then I have to decide, is this dark as I want it? Now,
Oh.
that means that after I get it dry, I could do a second time, but I'm going to show you another way of doing that.
Okay.
Okay, so,
And you just can kind of feel when it's dry and ready
Yeah.
to be done.
yep.
Okay.
And you just kind of keep doing that.
Do you burn your fingers ever?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this is a little bit too light.
Okay.
So rather than repeating the process,
Yes.
which I could, I'm going to show you. Sometimes
Oh.
I do this, and then you get a little bit more of a variegation, and you get it darker,
Oh my gosh, I love it.
like that.
This is literally just going for it, isn't it?
Yes, and then
Oh,
now,
it is darker,
look
but it
at
still has
that.
that.
Wouldn't that be cool around his
Oh, it'd be
neck?
so cute.
Yeah.
Do you have to dry it again?
A little bit, maybe.
Okay.
Before I would put it on something, I would. Otherwise, I'd just leave it there. And if you wanted it, let's just do a little. If you wanted it to have a little bit more variegation, let's take a little bit of gathered twigs.
I like it. Maggie's on a roll now.
Yes. So we're going to do this because then you get a little bit of brown and a little bit of green, and you get a little bit more, just a richer look.
Oh, you do.
love
That's
that.
amazing.
Yeah, that would be really pretty around there. So that is mummy cloth, and mummy cloth is not just for Halloween.
You made it into Grinch cloth.
Yes, I could have. Now, if I was going to really want it to be Grinch cloth, I would probably have used the color Twisted Citron.
Oh, is that bright green?
That's that bright green.
Okay.
But I'm going to have to do a little cleaning on my...
Does it stay that way on your mat? Or
Oh,
what do
maybe
you do?
I'll probably scrub it a little bit.
Okay.
But it's
What do you
probably...
use to scrub it?
Oh, I'll just I'll put it in the sink and
Oh, okay,
use
yeah.
a little bit of a scouring thing.
Okay.
But as long as it's wiped off,
Yeah.
and
You're
then
good to go.
Yeah, and then
Like
I
that
do
won't-
this.
okay.
Yeah, I'll just keep doing this until I get a clear color.
Okay.
But that's what it's made for, to be used,
It
right?
is, isn't it?
So I just wanted to share with you that
That's
you
a
could.
great little tip.
I love this.
Even if you've shown it before, I think it's just a great
Yeah.
little tip of showing it again.
And so this is the round coaster, and again I splattered it, and then I did use a eyelet
Yeah.
for the hole, and then added one of Tim Holtz bells.
That is the cutest little
Yeah,
like gift.
I thought it'd be
too.
cute to hang on
the
the
tree.
Yeah. So there again, what I would do is I'd probably cut this down, and I don't have a trimmer, but I would use a trimmer. But let's just do this. Let's just take this, and we're going to cut that off.
People are loving this, Maggie.
Thanks. And so I know this isn't perfect because I would have used a trimmer, but let's just do that. And then you can use a, let's see, your paper distressing tool.
Oh yeah, the distress tool. And then also, I'm going to ask you about these frames, what you did to them.
Okay.
Oops. All right.
Okay, so this is what I probably would have
All
done.
right, Maggie, I will be right back, okay?
Yeah, I like doing it after the fact because then I can cut off part that I don't like. But then what I would do is I would just distress the edges of this. And that's when I would go in with a little pumice stone, because pumice stone is your lighter, less brown. Thank you, Katie. Okay. And so I'm going to use this little pumice stone, and I'm just going to show you how that finishes it off. And it just frames it without, you know, being overpowering. Whoa.
Oops. I will show you our display. I don't know why that
There we
fell.
go. And so this, see how we got rid of that, edge that was a
Yeah.
little bit too much. And look at
Yeah,
how that
look at
just
that.
brings it together. And once we splatter it, it'll be ready to go on another coaster.
It's like I'm ready. I want you to look through the Reminisce book and see what you would use as the greens
oh
in the
gosh,
background.
let's do.
I think it's over there on the table.
There is that one, but
Oh.
I've got mine.
That's open?
Yeah,
Oh, what do we do with it?
here it is.
Okay.
Okay, see, so here's what I did.
We have all
Oh,
sorts of stuff.
Yes, and you know what? There's the Santa for tomorrow. But
Yes, make sure you join us tomorrow if you're enjoying this at the Santa.
okay, so let's see.
Let's see, I'm going to pull him out so you can kind of see. Oh, what do you
That's not quite the right green.
Okay.
I like using a little bit of red.
Mm-hmm.
Bring that red in just a little bit, but let's find a darker green. Can they see this book that I'm looking
think? Yeah,
into?
yep. We can see you flipping through. And maybe I kind of put you on the spot, so I hope that there is one in there. Oh, I like the
Yes,
brown.
there is. There's a really pretty, the browns are beautiful.
I love those big letters too.
I like pulling a little bit of that red and green in
Okay.
without being too much red.
I kind of like this.
That might be kind of pretty. Okay, let's take a look.
And you have saved all your scraps.
Oh, I have. I might need them. Okay, so and I don't like to show a lot of that red, but
Okay. Just so it's
that
kind
would
of
be
peeking
pretty.
out. Now, do you ink your mats?
I didn't on these, I
Okay.
don't think. Ooh.
Ooh,
Now we could do, that's pretty.
that's really pretty too. The music.
Oh my gosh, this is just so beautiful.
It's hard to decide which one to use. Oh, I really like that.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Let's see, let's throw. This is what I did last night when I was making
Just
these.
match it?
Oh my gosh,
Oh, that's
isn't
really
that
pretty. That's gorgeous.
I love
Oh, I
that.
really like that. Even though it doesn't have any green, but the
Yeah,
green really
there's a
does
little
pop
bit
on
of
there
green,
still.
yeah.
I like that.
Oh, there's just too much
Yeah,
to
there
choose
is.
from.
There's just too
Now,
much.
if you
Oh.
wanted to, you could use this again like I did. And use
with
that.
the-
Where's
I
the
don't
one that I
know.
used for the
I
background?
don't think that one is in. Yeah, that and this one right here.
Yeah, and then there was another one. This one.
Oh, okay.
This one is a different one, but I just love the background of this.
It's gorgeous.
I like
And
that.
you know, Maggie, I would not have chosen that due to the fact for a background as you did on the other one because I think it would be needed, like it's big.
Yeah.
And so I would not, but I love it on the
And
background
I
of that
thought
other
of this.
poster.
I thought of the same thing when I
Yeah,
did
that one. I thought,
but I
yeah.
just like it. It's just.
Oh, I love it.
It's just interesting. to
Yeah.
me. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that green brings in that green. That's beautiful too.
That book's just so pretty.
Yes. So
So pretty.
you have my permission to
and my permission
open
also.
up this book
Yes.
and use some pages. I was
Yeah.
going to show you. Look at this. I even cut out one of the postcards
Oh my
and
gosh.
glued it on the back.
You have to.
I glued it on the back.
That's
and then
a great
I thought you
idea.
could sign and date it.
Yes,
right
you
there.
could. And some of these I notice are Is that some of these I notice are in frames, Maggie?
Oh my gosh, these
How
frames.
did you do the frames?
Well, these frames are
Are you going
made.
to talk about tomorrow, or are you going to talk about?
one of our longtime customers.
I'm just going to flip it for you anymore.
I know, so
It's
sorry.
okay.
And
I love these frames.
they're just. I have one here. Oh, they're here. They are just that pressed wood, and they're relatively inexpensive. And I just painted it black with just
Okay.
black acrylic paint. And then once it was dry, I just sanded it, and it sands up so
It
so
does.
nicely.
It
And
sands
then
so nicely.
these are Tim Holtz. I think they're called nail heads. Do I have some of those?
I don't know. They were on order. We
Oh,
had a
that's
couple.
right.
Yeah, I think they're on order. They
I
flew
think
out
we
once the
had,
people saw
yes. And you could put bigger ones than these on. But I just love these little frames to
them.
put
Did you
on
do
a
anything
coaster.
to the back?
I did
No.
not.
Okay.
I did write down what I used. Oh, I learned that if I wanted to make something look goldish, Tim does not make a metallic distressing.
Okay.
So this is antique linen.
Oh.
Antique linen really does a nice
Oh,
job
it does. I would
looking
not have guessed
like
that.
gold. Yeah. So if you
That's a
want
good
a gold
find.
buckle, antique linen is your answer.
Perfect.
So,
Oh, and I had one other question. How did you make the pink on his cheek?
oh gosh, I'm so glad you asked
Are
that.
you? I want to
Yes.
show that, how he's got a little
This
pink cheek.
is the one
so subtle.
time, yes, and you want it to be subtle.
Yeah.
This
Oh, he has
is-
a pink cheek, too.
Yep, this is the one time that I use oxide. And
Oh, you used an
for
oxide.
two reasons. One, it's what was sitting on my desk, and I like I like spun sugar for the cheek color. You don't want it to look like a clown.
Right, right. Which mine have ended up.
But
yes.
also the fact that it is oxide and it kind of layers on there nicely. And let's do this one. This
Okay.
is the one I just did, and I'm going to show you. It's a very scientific way that I did it. I just happened to see it, and I thought, oh, it needs a little bit of pink. So I used
Oh.
my little pinky, and I tried to find one that
That-
wasn't quite
Just
green.
dipped it in your water.
I don't want the green to come off. Okay.
And how will you get your hands clean?
I know, it's bad. Okay, so I'm just going to do this.
Okay. This is so...
And yeah, it's a very rocket science way, and then tapped it
Oh
on there
my
like that.
gosh. That's
And
like
that's all you
perfect.
needed to do. And sometimes after a little while, if I felt like it needed that, I did that.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm going to
so,
hold this up so you can
know,
see it.
actually, it makes the Santa Claus. I don't know. There's
Or the
something
snowman.
about snowman. It makes him. I don't know.
It kind of finishes them off. It's
It
like
does.
you see it, but you don't see it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And this one we missed. So let's do another one.
It is. It's something that, like, you know it, your brain sees it, but it doesn't register. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So there we go.
So
And
cute.
If I can wipe it off a little bit.
People are amazed with your work.
Oh my gosh,
Stunning,
this one
gorgeous,
doesn't have-
beautiful. You're amazing, Maggie. The
Aw.
amazing Maggie. I would
Oh my
agree.
gosh. Look at
Marvel
this.
how creative you are. Oh,
I would say if
It just gives it a little finishing touch.
It does. If you want to do this, get yourself a pack of the card front size and just stamp a whole bunch of those
I think
snowmen
that's a good idea.
and just experiment and play.
I think that's a great idea.
Because even as I was going through and doing this, I learned, let's not use quite as much of the weathered wood. Let's use some of the pumice stone.
So she used the pumice stone,
Weathered
wood,
carved pumpkin
Yeah.
for the nose.
spun sugar for
Spun
the
sugar
cheek.
for the cheeks. And then I believe I used gathered twigs for the twigs, of
Yeah.
course. And
I
then
love
any color
this.
scarf that you want.
Oh,
Okay.
Maggie, they're so glad that you shared it. It has to watch the rerun tomorrow, so get it all.
All right,
I'm
well-
going to try to take this off.
Hopefully we will be able to get a few Santas done tonight.
Yeah, I
and
hope
have
you're
some
able to.
ideas.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, sorry, I need to rotate. Hang with me, everybody.
so this is
There
the
we go.
aftermath. Look at that.
Yeah, this is the aftermath, which is, I'm going to give you a shot because what we do is we take pictures before, because remember that beautiful display? Well, look at it now.
It's on the floor.
Oh my gosh, it's like fell over and things are all over the floor.
So I hope you enjoyed the snow day today.
I got to show this part too. It was so pretty at the beginning, and then you play, and then it explodes. So,
Yes.
Maggie, you have even inspired me to try this out. I
There
think
you
I would
go.
be able to do that. So thank you so much,
Thank
Maggie.
you.
Again, it was the Mr. Frostie, and tomorrow Maggie's going to be back with the Santa. Do you know the name
Santa
of that?
Visit.
Santa Visit?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thanks again, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.